Sarengida Wahira obot siraku Loke tuo aime Mate hanesan balada fui Mate ia Santa Cruz Maibe Cruz lae Wisina swine Soile morai Danza Sai manu fuik mai kasunas kilat musan morus latan barai lian lai.
This conference, this symposium on the 12th of November is closing today, and I believe we have now the group of resistant people here tonight and today in other places. We will have a closing session with Professor Michael Leach from Swinburne University, that founder of Timor-Leste that all of us know very well. And also Hugo Fernandes, the executive director of Centro Nacional Chega, who has been great in providing the auditorium, providing their staff, and also technology, and supporting also publications from Timor-Leste Studies conferences. And so in spite of COVID and all these restrictions, we are being able to have a connection, virtual connection with people that are in Dili and in Timor-Leste and other parts of the world. So, so I give the word to Michael, Hugo Fernandes first, and then Michael Leach.
Thank you, Professor Marisa. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from Dili to everyone. I think in the last 2 days we have been enjoying the discussions, and also some of us maybe become tired. I would like to start the closing remark with, first of all, congratulate the organizing committee, the Timor-Leste Study Association, Asian Studies Association of Australia, Universidade Aberta Portugal, who have been joined with the Centro Nacional Chega in this anniversary of 30 years of Santa Cruz Massacre. In the last 2 days, in an international research symposium with the theme, the Santa Cruz Massacre, 1991, 30 years on. I would like to extend our appreciation and thank you to Dr. Jose Ramos and also to all panelists and who have participated in these academic sessions organized by the organizing committee. There were nearly 30 researchers and panelists from various parts of the world, from Timor-Leste, Australia, Hungary, England, Portugal, United States of America, Canada, and Brazil. Centro Chega noted that more than 50 participants listened to the panelists' presentation and engaged in online discussions. The participation of researchers and panelists from various well-known universities around the world shows that the tragedy of Santa Cruz Massacre is still a moment that deserves to be commemorated as a war humanitarian tragedy. These years, the Santa Cruz Massacre is commemorated by various levels of government in Timor-Leste across the territory, private sectors, civil society organizations, public institutions, grassroots communities, and of course in Dili, a big commemoration will help because of the government designated November 12th as a National Youth Day. And of course, this international symposium was signed of a significant of November 12th was not only for the people of Timor-Leste, but also for efforts and fight against crimes of human rights violation around the world, for the sake of creating a culture of peace and respect for the freedom of self-determination by the people. With a variety of commemoration carried out by various groups, this is more convincing Centro Chega that it is true that the Santa Cruz tragedy became a turning point for struggle for independence of Timor-Leste, and also the starting point for the long struggle toward a more just world. Colleagues, even though it has been 30 years, there is still a lot of work that has not been completed or even begin. Centro Chega this year would like to call the attention of the government of Timor-Leste to ratify the UN Convention on Missing Persons and to start a serious dialogue with the government of Indonesia to search for people who disappeared after the Santa Cruz Massacre, as well as those who disappeared during 24 years of Indonesian occupation of Timor-Leste. I would like to thank TLSA, ASSA, and Universidade Aberta for this excellent collaboration. My thanks goes to Professor Michael Leach, Dr. Hannah Loney, Dr. Vanessa Herman, Dr. Marisa Ramos, Professor Lucio Souza, and other colleagues who has been putting their hard work to make this event become a reality. All presentation and participation from DIRI will not have gone smoothly without the support for the board of directors and friends at Centro Nacional Chega. And for their support and hard work, we should congratulate and thanking them. We shall commemorate and remember Santa Cruz Massacre as a human tragedy, as what Padre Jovito said in his opening remark for this event, and I quote, "We are here today not only to remember the 3 decades of traumatic event of the Santa Cruz Massacre. We are here today to celebrate the blessed and historic moment of Timorese people long road to freedom. We are here today not to take advantage of our own sake, but to dignify the fault of those brave and nameless of the 12th November 1991 young people," end quote. When this symposium was planned a few months ago, and in July, I remember, we extend an invitation to Max Stahl. Even though that at the time Max was under medical treatment, he was determined to participate. Unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, Max passed away and leave with us his legacy on humanity for Timor-Leste and for the world. Therefore, the organizing committee decided to commemorate Max Stahl's service of his dedication in this symposium to Max Stahl. Thanks to Manasio Lopez, Claudio, and Eddie for reading Max Stahl's message that he wrote before he passed away. This symposium is to honor the dedication of the late Max Stahl, who with his camera made Santa Cruz Massacre a turning point for humanity and international solidarity. This month, we honor Max, and we shall remember his message to all of us, and I quote, "Sometimes dignity can change the world. For this insight, I thank those people who resisted quietly, without bluster, and what seems like a hopeless cause, and show that sometimes faith really can move mountains and value share across generations. From mountains to cities, from small island abandoned and forgotten around the world, can conquer arrogance and murder against the all odds," end quote. Thank you very much and look forward for next year commemoration. Good evening and thank you.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the obrigado, Juan, for the very moving remark in the memory of Max Stahl. And hand the floor to Professor Michael Leach.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Hugo, for those very moving words. It's been a long couple of days, and I found your speech quite moving, and I'm sure I won't be able to match it. So thank you for those words, which put into perspective what we've been focusing on for the last couple of days in a really moving way. Thank you. On behalf of the TLSA, I wish to thank all the presenters who have made this such a significant and remarkable symposium. We, the TLSA, hope this symposium on the eve of the 30th anniversary of the Santa Cruz Massacre has contributed to the wider efforts to honour the memory of those who gave their lives at Santa Cruz and in the days afterwards, and to those who survived to carry the hopes of a generation. We've seen a remarkable mix of presentations, academics as well as leaders and participants from the event in 1991, which has made for such an interesting and engaging conference. I must say, rarely have I seen so many presenters become overwhelmed with memories as I have at this symposium. And this is, of course, understandable given its focus. As an academic conference, we also hope we've advanced understanding of the historical significance of the Santa Cruz protest and the Santa Cruz massacre to the restoration of Timor-Leste's independence. Presenters have examined such topics as the role of the clandestines who organised the protest, the implications for Timorese resistance strategy generally, the consequences of the consequences for Indonesia's illegal occupation, and the resounding international ramifications of the event. With these points in mind, I wish to particularly thank the participants in the roundtable, Constancio Pinto, Gregorio Saldana, Joana Diaz, and Cel Lopes, who presented the message to the symposium from Max Stahl. As you will all know, this symposium is dedicated to the memory of Max Stahl, whose film footage of the brave Santa Cruz protesters helped alter the course of a nation's history. The recent passing, as Hugo mentioned, of our colleague and a dear friend to many, Max Stahl, has also made this a very moving occasion. Yesterday's roundtable of clandestine leaders involved in the organisation of the Santa Cruz protest was, in my opinion, a truly remarkable event. Combined with Camstel's tribute film to Max Stahl, the TLSA is extremely pleased, as I'm sure the CNC will be, with this event and the fact that it's been preserved on film for future generations. And I think the fact that the entire discussion took place in Tetum was really important, and I hope that it does become an important archival record for CNC. On that note, we send our warm fraternal thanks to CNC, Centro Nacional Chega, for their marvellous organisation in Dili, and especially Hugo Fernandes. Thank you also to His Excellency José Ramos Horta for his opening address yesterday. Thanks once again go to Universidade Aberta in Portugal for the online platform, and especially to Lucio Sousa for his tireless efforts, and in fact they have been quite tireless. Thank you, Lucio. We received a grant from the Asian Studies Association of Australia as well, which will be put towards the publication arising from this symposium. On another note, the languages in which the presentations were delivered keeps up the TLSA tradition of a multilingual conferences with papers in Tetum, Portuguese and English. And thanks to João Sarmento for his translation efforts, especially yesterday, and to all the session chairs for keeping to time. I wish to thank my fellow members of the organising committee for this symposium, Vanessa Herman, Hannah Loney, Marisa Gonçalves, and Rogerio Savio. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure working with you on this project. And of course, Hugo is also part of that committee effectively. Thank you, Hugo. If I may end with some brief follow-up points, we'll be organising a publication from the symposium, and we will be in touch with all of you about this before long with further details. The videos of these presentations will also be available online in the near future, and we will advise when this has happened so you can see all the papers that you were unable to see in the other room. Please also go and check out the Memories and Memorabilia section of the online platform. This contains some wonderful poems and artworks, including a large number of paintings from Maria Madeira, who authorised us to use 17 of her amazing artworks. So please check that out on the online platform. And finally, please become actively involved in the Timor-Leste Studies Association. Soon we will be organising our very first online AGM of the different chapters of the TLSA. I know this is something that Helen will be pleased to hear. We'll be, all over the world, in Dili, Melbourne, Darwin, Portugal, Brazil, and the UK, we've decided it's time to make a meeting. So there'll be an advertisement about that, and we'll all get together and discuss TLSA business going forward. Please note for future TLSA events that you can follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our email list. If you haven't subscribed to our email list, please do. I'm just putting in the Facebook page now where you can follow us. And if you haven't subscribed to the email list, please do, because you get monthly mail outs of new articles, book chapters and dissertations and other news about Timor-Leste events. So those two links are there. And so with that, thank you all for attending this symposium, and particularly to the presenters. We hope that with this symposium, we have cemented further the bonds of learning, scholarship and solidarity between Timor-Leste and those of us in many different countries. And with that, boa noite, boa tarde, and good night.
Aswain Santa Cruz, Ran Aswain Rainain Lulik Timor Seire Kere, Mate Pian Santa Cruz, Mate Pian Ratela Exeia Kilar, Ami Mate Atunaroman, Mosu.